Welcome to round 3 action from the Rotax Max Challenge in South Africa. We head down to KwaZulu-Natal and to the Idube Raceway for this action. We're going into the Bambino class now, and the future of the sport looks good when you look at the kind of pace that these youngsters have found on this incredible circuit. Kai van Rensburg, a big surprise after a little bit of issues early on, got the pole position ahead of Caleb Odendaal. Roderick Simpson up into 3rd place with Lewin Mostert right there too. And championship leader Chipang Shinsenswana there in 5th place.
So tell me, we're at Idube, the most awesome circuit ever. Do you like it here?
I love it at Idube. It's the best track ever.
What do you like about this track?
I like the corner where you can go flat. That's so wide before you go on that straight.
And tomorrow, the racing, how are you going to handle the racing?
I think I'm going to handle the racing to overtake and come first.
And who will you have to watch out for? That Oki who's leading the championship for Chipang.
Yeah, I need to look out for Chipang. I think he's gonna, I don't know.
You think you can beat him?
Yeah, I overtook him once.
So qualifying is done. Tell me about qualifying.
It was very nice. I was riding defensively, so I could just because I came second because my lap times were I really did a big lap time.
So what is the plan tomorrow?
Tomorrow my plan is I'm gonna stick to my lines, get to the front and ride defensively.
And do you like the circuit?
Yeah, I do, a lot.
What do you like about it?
I like about that the downhills and the uphills.
And do you have a plan for tomorrow to win the race?
Yeah.
What is your plan?
My plan is to get Karim, Chipang and Kayla Moss.
3 of the championship at the most daunting race circuit. Talk to me about this weekend.
I wish I can win tomorrow. And I wish I could qualify 1st or 2nd.
Talk to me about the circuit. Do you like the circuit?
Yes.
What do you like about the circuit?
The fast.
But after every fast piece, there's a long uphill. How do you tackle the uphill?
I find it difficult a lot sometimes, but I make it through up.
You leading the championship. 2 rounds to go. Who are the guys chasing you this weekend?
Ray and Karim. And Caleb Odendaal.
And what is your plan for the weekend?
Trying to win so I can stay away in the championship.
It's a tight championship amongst these babies, and they really give it everything they can. Now, let's see. This is the shortened version of the circuit as well, so they don't go down into the treacherous little funnel corner. They cut grandstand short and turn right there. So having a look here from the sideline, our COC, Roger Stephen, and looks like they've all got going according to plan behind the safety cot, because it's a safety cot that they run under for the first lap just to get them going. But a good start by the looks of things there, coming out of Caleb Odendaal and Roderick Simpson, and watching for Kai van Rensburg to see if he can capitalize from that incredible qualifying he had yesterday.
You'll see now Caleb Odendaal got a bit of a gap as they head up the hill here, but you'll see by the time they get to turn 1, that gap is all but gone. It's almost impossible to get away in the Bambino.
Ray and Kareem also coming through there as well. Watch out for him in the 17 cart there, fighting side by side. They cut it into the right-hander here, and down the hill they go again towards Hockey Stick. So it's, as I said, a slightly shortened version of the circuit. Kareem fighting with Van Rensburg, Caleb Odendaal up there. Jordan Wadley also with a nice start, but a little bit of work to do there for Wadley. Keegan Beaumont and Christian Verheul up in the top 6 as they come across the line to complete lap number 1.
Yeah, Ian Curran driving a completely rebuilt chassis. He unfortunately wrote his chassis off in the in practice on Friday, along with one or two other competitors that had to basically rebuild the entire front end of both their carts. So great job there from his mechanical team to get him back up into this race.
Yeah, so let's see if we can keep it all together now and hopefully make it work for the team. At this stage, a little bit of work to be done. 75 out front though is Caleb Odendahl, and with a bit of pressure coming there from 66 Roderick Simpson. Simpson's on his outside and goes around the outside of Grandstand in a Bambino, cuts him off into the right hand at the top of the field, and Kai van Rensburg follows on and says, yeah, keep that up. I need some more maneuvers like that, so you two can fight it hard. I'll pick up the pieces.
Yeah, super strong move there from Roderick, and you'll see he's got a 2 or 3 cart length gap now, but by the time they get to the end of this lap, they'll all be right back on, and 2 carts in this class is definitely faster than 1, as we see Luan Mostert and Reen Corin catching onto the screen.
Yeah, Mostert closing in there, looking for a chance to possibly get into that 3rd and 4th place battle, make it into a 5-way battle. As you can see, it is Rain Kareem who's coming along with that cart of Mostert. So Kareem and Mostert closing down on the top 2, make that top 3 because they're very evenly matched going onto that back straight. Lou and Mostert now having to do lots of work as they head up to the top of the hill. But as you said, perfectly done, Carl. As they get to the top of the hill, everything concertinas again. Kareem on the inside, and inside as well there was Caleb Odendahl, and just
big jump
squeezing
over
out.
the curve there. Big jump over curve there to get past Roderick and giving Roderick no room on the outside. Unfortunately, him also clipping the curve. But again, small gap from the cart in front. By the time they get to the back of the hill, it'll be gone. But Luan Mostert, one of the quickest on the circuit at the moment, just behind the front 2 group.
Yeah, and he's doing a really good job there, and you can see now Simpson going to try and come back. Can he find a way through? No, not this time. Mostert on the inside, Kareem on the outside. The two of them very evenly matched, heading down into the corkscrew. And all 5 of them are so evenly matched. Just behind that, Keegan Beaumont just trying to bridge that gap, hasn't quite been able to do that. Verheul is just behind that as well. Then Mateo Masson and Caleb Moss, and of course Shinson Wana. Look where he is, nowhere. Our championship leader battling at the back end of the field.
They're going forward, breast into Grandstand. Luan Mostert on the inside of all of it as well. Caleb falling just behind Roderick Simpson there. I think there were like 3 or 4 changes of line there, or changes of input. Am I going outside and I'm going inside? But it seemed to work out for Roderick as he heads into hockey stick in the lead. Caleb dives down the inside, unable to make it happen, but Areen getting past Kai van Rensburg into hockey.
Yeah, nicely done there from him. So moving up into the top 3. Now let's see if he's able to get through possibly on the 7-5, and Odendahl goes defensive into turn 1. Kareem on his tail. 14 cart now with a bit of pressure coming out of that 32 machine of Mostert. So Mostert has got some big intentions of getting past on Kai van Rensburg.
Yeah, what was 1 or 2 carts battling out for each of their positions, now 5 carts for the lead. You see a lot of movement as they go up the back of the hill here. They're all running at the top of their rev range, so slipstream makes a big deal. Karim from 3rd, round the outside, might go into the lead here, but it's Luan Mostert the big winner from 5th to 1st.
Yeah, what a move there from Mostert, diving on the inside, and has he made it stick? Yes, he has. They run the curbs here. Oh no, Simpson comes back at him though. Simpson comes straight back at him. They're now side by side down into hockey stick. And I think Simpson might just hang on. Yes, he does. Mostert settles for 2nd for now. But I think he'll try that a bit later on and maybe won't back out if it comes to checkered flag lap time.
Karim looking down the inside now of Odendahl as they head into turn 1. Kai van Rensburg going from leading this race at one stage down to 5th place, just hanging on to this leading group.
Unbelievable how it changes up, eh? And this is the future of the sport. So you can imagine when these guys get up into the bigger classes and start to fight it out like we've seen at the front end.
Inside on the exit of hockey of Thunderdome. I've never seen that.
That's nice, eh? How's that? Mostert not holding anything back now. He's on Simpson's tail. He's got the slipstream. He pulls out of the slipstream. He's going to go through. And will he be able to make it stick? Kareem coming around the outside. Little tap between the two of them. They just force out Simpson. He had to back out of that one. Otherwise, he would have been in big trouble. And a big capitalization coming out of the 7-5 of Odendahl.
Yeah, Simpson went into that corner 2nd, came out 1st. Odendahl came out 4th. Big move down the inside now from Karim on Mostert. That's allowed Odendahl through as well, so he's up to 2nd. Simpson and Mostert touch on the exit.
And a spin. So Mostert and Simpson have to come back at it. They get the cars turned around rapidly and they get going again. But how was that for a bit of a change-up? Didn't quite expect the tap, though. If they hadn't tapped, they would have been right with these guys as they come down into Thunderdome again. So there is nothing in it in these front 2. Rain Kareem now looking hard to get away, and he has got huge pressure coming from Odendahl.
Odendahl early up the inside there on the exit of Thunderdome. Would have been better for him to stay in the slip instead of pulling out so early. Then he could have had a bit of an easier move into the turn 1 here.
Yeah, he's not going to get the move. Yeah, he wasn't able to get the slip there because he pulled out too early. And now as they come through the right-hander, very close stuff there. Odendahl had a look on the inside. Lots of attention being showed here. I'm looking through this field, though, and a big concern I have here, Carl. Shinson Wana is nowhere to be seen. The championship leader coming into this round is losing out a lot of ground here in heat number 1. He's going to have to work hard now for heat 2 and 3 to try and make up that ground he's lost here. And you can see the big gap that's opened up between 3rd and 4th place. lead changes there as they come through. And with 1 lap to go, ooh, it's on. This is going to be good stuff. Odendaal all over the back of Kareem, and Kareem fending off as much as he can. He's trying to use every bit of the, and I want to say this in a very nicest term, the limited amount of experience that these karters have had. But
Yes.
look how hard they're working, and the race strategy that they've got is as good, if not better, than some of the guys we see in the bigger classes too.
Yeah, Caleb going outside there, trying to go around Kareem, but I think he's waiting for a move into hockey stick. Well, this is what him and I have been discussing all day Friday. Rather wait for the move here into hockey stick than try and get it done early, because then you're just going to open yourself up. Kareem clever to it though, goes deep onto the inside. If he opens the door here, Caleb will want to stick it over the curve there, which he does. Unfortunately, not maybe able to make it stick. So Kareem will take the win here ahead of Caleb. If he does, it's Kai van Rensburg that managed to get past the off Caleb into second place.
How was that? Maybe celebrating a little bit too early there. Got himself caught out, and Van Rensburg dives through and gets the second spot ahead of Caleb Odendaal. What a turnaround there. Brilliant stuff though from Bambino. It's one of the best races we've seen all day, that's for sure. And look forward to more of the same now in Heat 2 and 3. Confirmation of Heat 1 though. Kareem, Van Rensburg and Odendaal. Jordan Wadley eventually came through for 4th place. Keegan Beaumont in 5. And he was ahead of Fahel, Masson. And then it was Moss, Mostert, Shinson Warner down in 10th place. Roderick Simpson recovered to 11. And Kian Snyman there in 12.
I drove my line, I kept my foot flat, and I was smooth.
And the second race, you're going to do the same.
Yes. On the last lap, I was faster than Caleb. Then I overtook him on the straight where you cross the finish line.
And what are we going to do in the second race?
I'm gonna try to stay second, and I'm gonna overtake yeah.
They line up now behind Jeff Stephen. Now we know why he went so well in the 175s, as he starts things out as the lead kart for our Bambinos. And heading into turn 1, usual contenders at the front end. But one I'm watching out for, and I definitely need to see some improvements from, is our championship leader. He's lost lots of points in that first heat. Shinson Zwana is in trouble here, as they go into the second heat of racing.
Yeah, it's Apang's father also running the Burl Art Cadet program, so it's difficult to run the team and your own child. So if you're having any injury issues or anything on Saturday, it's difficult to pay attention to it and try and sort them out quickly, as Kareem goes up the inside of Luan into second place, and that opens the door for Caleb Odendaal.
Roderick Simpson on the outside as they come through there. Wadley just behind them. And there's Shinson Zwana coming through. So a lot of work to be done for Chapang as he gets up into this second heat and into the heat of this battle. Oh, speaking of the heat of the battle, that was definitely not expected. And rolling across.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big crash at the bottom end. Unfortunately, not getting tapped twice, but a big crash at the bottom end there and into SMD hockey stick. I don't think it's going to require the race to be stopped, because they will be able to get those carts out of the way. But it looks like it was Fahel and Snyman who were caught out there in that little fracas at the bottom end of hockey stick.
Yeah, I don't think that cart of Snyman is going to be back in for the next heat. And if it is, it definitely will not be the same frame. That was a big impact that car took. But that started with Kareem and Kai van Rensburg getting touched going into hockey stick.
Yeah, Roderick Simpson on the outside. In the middle of that, it's Odendaal, and Kareem hangs on. Simpson comes round the high side and into the right hand at the top of the hill. Difficult corner to make stick through, but watch him cut back now. There you go, gets the drive down the hill. That's exactly what they were trying to do earlier on. No overtaking though, you can see double wave yellows. So let's see if they all attend to that. Remember, with the double wave yellow flags means no overtaking. Both carts on the sideline. In fact, the third cart on the outside of the track as well. So there might be a third one. I think that was Lewin Mostert.
Yeah.
Mostert is the third cart involved there. He's been pushed back onto track and has got going again, but unfortunately not the same thing for Fahel and for Snyman.
We see Matteo Mason making a move there on Keegan Beaumont. He's really come good in the last couple of races, and hoping to charge up there for the top 10.
Yeah, Mason as opposed to Masson. Apology for that on the board on the previous one, but definitely going much better this time there. So watch out for him as he starts to make his way up, possibly even into the top 6 hunt. Top 3 though, class of the field at this stage, and they are putting on a show of note. And it's going to be top 4 in a few minutes' time, because all of a sudden we now have a hard-charging Caleb Moss in the mix as well.
Yeah, that kart that Caleb Moss drives is actually closer to the karts that I used to race when I was racing cadets compared to the other 3. So nice to see a little bit of older equipment there being used, and he's still running in the front 4.
Old school, bud. Old school's cool. That's how it goes. Down into turn 1 they go again. This time Simpson leads out as they come across the line, and into turn 1, followed by Odendaal. And Kareem just hanging on for now. Moss on his tail, looking for opportunities if there are any. And then just behind that, a nice run from Kai van Rensburg. He managed to avoid all the action down into Hockey Stick. Did cost him a little bit of time, but he's trying to make it up now as they get up into this one.
Somehow Caleb Woodendale's gone through Thunderdome and come out first, so not quite sure as he does that, as he catches onto the back of an ailing Verheel's cart, but I think Verheel's gone into the pits. There's Roderick back up the inside now of Caleb Woodendale. Woodendale closes the door that allows Kareem to try to go around the outside, but no room there for anybody to get past.
When Van Rensburg has bridged the gap, so there's 5 carts now. And here they come, back down into Hockey Stick.
More changes.
One change up to second place there. A little bit of chopping. That's how it all goes. And further back in the field, there's a little bit of changing as well. I think that was Chipang diving through. Wadley fighting hard there with him. As they come up into turn 1 again. This time, Kareem's on the inside. Forces Undal wide. He comes across. Tags Roderick Simpson. Simpson, very lucky to be avoided by Moss, who just saw what was happening and got out the way.
Yeah, Moss got a little bit of a wheelie there as he touched the back wheel of Simpson, but I've never seen so many changes for position in a single lap. I saw Kai up into 4th, he's now down into 5th as Simpson tries to go around the outside of Caleb Woodendale again, and that's just allowed Kai to get up the inside of Simpson.
Oh man, this is fantastic stuff. And of course, this is the future of karting. So what a way to do it. Bambino's come flying through the right-hander now, and you can see Undal applying the pressure onto Simpson. Simpson trying to get through and possibly steal the lead again. He has a look on the inside. He's done it to perfection every single time they've come down here, and he does it yet again into the SMD Hockey Stick and leads across the line. But then Kareem comes back at him, and across the line, Kareem has got the inside line for turn 1. Simpson looks across. He can do nothing about it, and in fact, he might even drop down to 4th place. Yes, he will, because 14 Kai van Rensburg has just dived through on him.
Moss trying to get around the outside there of Simpson, unable to make it a stick as they head down through Thunderdome. And once they get up on the hill again, there'll be more changes into the next corner.
Look at this. Absolutely brilliant stuff. 5 carts. They go up there 2 by 2. Eventually, they go 3 by 3 at some point. And a little bit of look over the shoulder there coming from the lead cart just to ensure if anybody has a good dive, he's going to cut them off. This time they follow him line astern. No changes there, but you can literally... Oh, man, I don't even know you can throw a blanket over there. The blanket will probably be too big for that gap.
Yeah, unbelievable to see how close these carts run together. You can't even get a piece of paper between the 2 bumpers as Kareem goes defensive into Hockey Stick. Udendal in 2nd. No changes behind them.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Here we go a bit further back on that one, though. Keep an eye out. Mason, Beaumont, and Beaumont having a little bit of fight at the back end as this continues into turn 1 for the lead. And this is heat number 2. This is not even the final just yet. These are the guys that are still fighting hard here. Remember, they're all looking for some good lap times to get up to the front end of the next heat of racing. And the lap times are so evenly matched. Looking at that top 5, we've got 1 kart in the 49s. In fact, we've got 2 karts in the 49s and 3 in the 50s. That's how tight it is.
Yeah, unbelievable to see how close they run together. You can see the bump drafting happening as they head up the hill. Moss looking to get past Simpson as they head into this right-hander before they head down the main hill, but unable to get it done. But Kareem and Caleb Woodendale fought it out like this with Tsepang for the African Open Championship. Caleb coming out on top, but Kareem just a little bit more defensive than Caleb this weekend.
He's doing a great job, that is for sure. Now coming into the closing stages of the second heat of action. And absolutely brilliant stuff from these guys. There is nothing in it between these top 5. Here's a dive around the outside from Udendal, just trying to get a slightly better drive out of turn 1. Van Rensburg saw him going and went with him, so it didn't quite work out for Van Rensburg. If he'd gone a bit later, he probably would have been able to make it move and made that move stick as much as what he wanted. Now coming out of Thunderdome, up the hill they go again. This is where things just start to concertina again. The probably evenness of all the engines here come into play. And there's a move. Oh, what a touch! Oh, Van Rensburg going around the outside. Kareem has a little touch there from Van Rensburg. That just got him off guard ever so slightly, and Udendal capitalizes on that move.
Yeah, final lap now for these 5 boys, so you can see them getting a little bit more aggressive with the moves, trying to make them stick. Roderick Simpson now down the inside of Kai. Kareem got a big enough gap with that fight to get away from them. Simpson down the inside of Kai, takes 3rd place behind Caleb Woodendale.
Yeah, coming to the line now. Flag is waiting. Here they come. And Kareem has hung on. 2nd place this time. Udendal hangs on to it. And looks like 3rd place. Oh, what a move there in the end. Caleb Moss. As those two came together, I think there was a little touch there between Roderick Simpson and Kai van Rensburg, which slowed them across the line and allowed Moss to go around the outside and take that 3rd place away. He was stoked with that one. Great driving from Caleb Moss, staying out of trouble and taking the 3rd spot. There's confirmation of the results. Kareem ahead of Udendal and Moss. Simpson comes through for 4th with Kai van Rensburg in 5. Wadley in 6th place ahead of Shinsen Wana. Much better from him. Mason, Beaumont, and then Leuven Mostert with some problems there, as you saw, from Verheil and Sneeman.
Nice, I'm happy about it. My dad's happy, my whole family's happy about me.
How did it feel in the car?
Fine. Lost?
Are you going to see the same for you in the 3rd race?
Yes. I just tried to get past Ryan, but I couldn't. and I'll get past him next heat.
What's he doing to make it so difficult?
He's trying to block and push.
Do you think there's anything you can do to be better in the next race?
Yes.
What? Tell me.
To get past him and to try and win.
That is exactly what everybody is trying to do here. Jeff Stephen has won it out every single time, though. Great try from him so far. No, only kidding. Into turn one, though. Who has got the whole shot? That's Caleb Moss. Moss is at the front, off the front end of this field, and that is a great start from him. Lewin Mostert looks like he might be in third place or second place there, if I'm not mistaken. They're fighting for second and third as they come through Thunderdome for the first time now. Remember, Mostert's got to turn his luck around here. He's in second. He's ahead of Odendaal. Kareem's lost a little bit of ground there, and you can see the rest of them just starting to line up there very nicely. Much better outing this time, though, for Shinsen Nwana as he comes up into that top six.
Yeah, much better start there for Tsapang as well. I mean, he's doing much better to get up into this field, and good field to be in. But going to be difficult for him to move up, though.
One of the most competitive, I've got to say. So far, what we've seen has been great karting racing in all the other categories, but in terms of tightness and the amount of overtakes per lap, there's nothing to beat Bambino at this stage.
Yeah, they change position every corner as Moss about to show us that he's trying to go up the inside of Caleb Odendaal. But Caleb doesn't seem to have the pace that he had in the previous heat.
You can see that Shinsen Nwana has definitely found some pace, so that's good to see as he makes his move up. He's probably going to drop down to second or third place in this championship, having the first two heats not go his way. Lewin Mostert, though, getting away at the front end, trying to open up a controllable lead, but that's not always easy to do, particularly when they're so evenly matched. Kareem already starting to close on Moss. Moss is right on the tailpiece there of Odendaal, and behind that, it's Roderick Simpson.
You can see now that Odendaal doesn't seem to have as much pace as he had before. He's actually bunching this whole field up behind Lewin, and Lewin able to get away, which is something we don't normally see in cadets, that one cart can get away like that.
Ooh,
three abreast now.
Inside, good drive, and unfortunately one man loses out there. It looked like that might be Kareem. No, it's not. It was Moss who loses out there. They are so evenly matched. Moss and Kareem swapping positions. Here comes Shinsen Nwana, and all of a sudden we've also got Kai van Rensburg chucked into the mix too. So we got 4 carts fighting for the lead, a little gap, and then 4 carts fighting for 5th.
Yeah, that gap between Lewin Mostert and Odendaal is getting bigger and bigger as the laps go on. And you can see how quickly they run onto the back of Odendaal as they head up the back here. So bunching all these carts up. Brad Wadley, the first time we've seen him there, or Jordan Wadley, first time we've seen him in the group as he goes past Roderick Simpson, unable to make a stick, and Sisiyama around the outside.
That's how they do it. 2 by 2 and side by side, and sometimes it's 3 abreast into some of these corners. It can end up in tears, as we saw, particularly down here in the second heat. They all just follow through line astern, so maybe realizing that you can't go through your 5 abreast like they tried in heat number 2. They can do it up to turn 1, and that's exactly what Kareem is trying to do to avoid the attack there from Moss. But I think both him and Odendaal ran wide. Yes, they did, and Moss squeezes through and into second place again.
Okay.
Brilliant bit of driving.
Absolutely brilliant bit of driving there. Big dive, got past two carts, one corner there. Pushed Caleb Odendaal and Kareem down 1 place, but Odendaal looking racy to get back at him now.
Yeah, but have a look now, they just line up. They line up behind Caleb Moss. Caleb Moss with that clear visor battling with a bit of sunshine here. Here comes Simpson on his inside of Odendaal. He dives through. Shinsen Nwana diving through on the inside, and I think he's made a stick. Kareem, they're side by side. Wow, that's going to be the championship battle in the final round, and they are so evenly matched here heading into this final heat.
Big winner there was Simpson, though. He went straight up into third place. Now challenging Moss for second. Odendaal just following suit, trying to get past him as well as they head up into turn 1.
Caleb Moss, Roderick Simpson, Odendaal. Then you've got Kareem. And look at that. All of a sudden, chuck in a couple of extra drivers in there too, because all of a sudden now we've got not only Caleb Odendaal, but Jordan Wadley and Kai van Rensburg in the mix. And there's nothing in it. They are so evenly matched amongst these drivers, amongst the competing engines here, and of course all the teams that are fighting so hard here for Bambino.
Yeah, different. Only certain engine builders can build these engines and seal them, so a little bit of competition between the engine builders, but Kareem going up the inside of Odendaal, unable to make a stick behind Simpson, but it's Jordan Wadley as well, looking racy there. Oh, big touch between Kareem and Odendaal.
Oh, and a return of the favours that came out of it as well. So a touch going in, a touch coming out. That's what's slowing them up. They're fighting too hard amongst each other. The top 3 are getting away. 4th place is where the action is, but there's too much action there and too much touching.
Odendaal seems to be getting slower and slower as the race goes on. Dropped right down. There seems to be a massive gap between third and the rest of the field.
Kareem goes defensive on that 4th place. He just fights off Van Rensburg and Odendaal behind him. But there you can see that's the gap. And there's 5 carts now fighting for 4th place on the circuit. So those top three giving a little bit of breathing room because of the fact that the 4-5 carts behind them fighting for fourth place are fighting so hard.
It's Tsepang around the outside now of Urundal as they head up into the right-hander. That's normally grandstand. Someone's side pod lying in the centre of the circuit there. Jordan Wadley getting past 3, I think. They're moving up just behind Tsepang.
Yep, Tsepang just getting through. No, not quite. Urundal side by side with him as they go down the hill. Ooh, bit of manoeuvre there coming out of Moss. Moss having a look on the inside of Mostert. Mostert had to go defensive. So we're getting into the closing stages. There's 2 to go. And absolutely nothing now between Moss and Mostert. Mostert is in a bit of trouble. He's got some pressure being applied for second and onto the first place cart that he's sitting in at this stage.
Big sandwich there into turn 1. Urundal was in the middle of it. See where he comes out. He comes out in front of the two. It's in front of Kai van Rensburg and Jordan Wadley. So a big touch between the 3 of them there. And they've completely lost the group ahead.
Yeah, and that's broken up the group dramatically now. These two going to fight for the win. Moss goes on the high side, trying to go around the outside into what'll be Grand Pipe Corner, because it's kind of like a grandstand and pipeline mixed. They go into the right-hander now. Those 3 getting away. 4th place. Oh, big move from Kareem. Kareem dives through on the inside, but here comes Tsepang straight back at him. So championship battle up there for 4th place. That's what we're going to be seeing in terms of the championship battle when we get to Swartkorps in a few weeks' time. Last lap. And into that last lap, it is Mostert who's hung on. And he's literally hung on from the start. That'll be a great drive. It'll be the first time in all 3 heats we've seen a driver go from start to finish and be at the front end of the field, because every single other heat we've had here today, it's been multiple overtaking maneuvers for that front end battle.
Yeah, what was normally a group of 5 is now split into a group of 3, a group of 2, and a group of 3 again. So a little bit of a different race now as we head up into the Grand Pipe Corner, as you call it, Greg. Good name for it. Moss not really having an answer for Mostert down the long back straight, but he might have one as they head down into hockey stick.
Let's see if he cuts back here and tries a different line down into the SMD hockey stick corner. No, look at that. Great drive out of Mostert. Perfect line from him. He'll go defensive on the inside. I don't think Moss is going to have an answer here. He's going to have to settle for second. Lewin Mostert has gone from flag to flag. Good drive from the youngster. And he comes across the line. So the man from Cape Town comes through to take the win ahead of Moss from PE. And Roderick Simpson comes through there with a great drive for 3rd place. Staying out of trouble. The second battle, though, Ryan Kareem eventually got through there and won out that battle, beating out Shinsen Swana, and then it was Caleb Urundal with Jordan Wadley. 8th place went to Kai van Rensburg, and 9th place to Keegan Beaumont. The rest of that field made up by Mason, Fahel, Aidan Beaumont, and Keon Sneyman, who eventually got back in the 27 cart for a nice finish in the top 13 there. Lucky for some, heading into the next round of this championship in September.
It's my first win today, so at this track, so I'm really glad.
How did you approach this race compared to the previous one?
Excuse me?
How did you approach this race compared to the previous one?
It's better than the other one. I feel happy, my family's happy about me coming first for the day. And I'm leading the regional and the national.
Okay. Are you going to go up to Swartkorps?
Yes.
What do you think you're going to be able to do up there?
I think I can win.